Hello and welcome to the Star Singer Podcast. My name is Tiffany Van Boxtel. I'm a vocal coach and I'm here to help you to feel more confident with your singing so that you can use it in whatever way you want to. Especially if you're a singer who overthinks or worries about how your singing sounds all the time, you are in the right place. We're going to be talking through all things singing, technical, performance, and especially mindset. So if this sounds awesome to you, then you are in the right place. Let's talk
get
about
started.
letting your voice out. I love this topic because just this idea alone can solve so many quote unquote problems with your singing. It's kind of like the big domino that can knock everything else down. And it has both technical, physical, and mindset kind of related to it. So learning how to let your voice out is also a huge confidence builder. So it just, Okay. I'm so excited to share this. So another reason to let your voice out in general, we're going to go through like why letting your voice out is important, some easy techniques and some ways to get your voice out there, and some challenges and some objections that you might have to, whatever it is. So because I've been around the block, I've been teaching voice lessons for a long time, thousands of voice lessons one-on-one, and I know what your objections are going to be. It's probably going to feel like I can read your mind, and I know what the cultural norm is, and I'm telling you that this way just works better. So I'm super excited because singing is simple. It does not have to be hard. It is simple. So letting your voice out is so helpful for confidence. Another thing it's helpful with is muscle memory, because when you are holding your voice back, you're really controlling how much energy you're putting into it. And then it makes it difficult for your body to develop muscle memory. Because if we think about all the things that go into singing and we just break them down into mathematical or physical components, we have things like frequency, which is measured in hertz. We have things like air volume, like inside of your lungs. And then we have like all sorts of changing variables like tidal pressure when we breathe. And basically, if we were going to do a math problem that, calculated exactly how much air pressure and airflow you would need to sing one note for 4 seconds at the speed of, a second. I was thinking in tempo. So, tempo you can change. Anyway, whatever. That's rocket science. Legitimate rocket science. Like if you calculated that on paper, it's insane. Like it's amazing that our body even comes close. But when we're changing all of these things and we're taking breaths differently all the time and we're, I'm feeling a little shy today, so I'm going to hold it back. That really messes with your body's ability to create muscle memory. And muscle memory is just so useful because on the days, if you're feeling a little more anxious or you have a little more performance anxiety or you're really excited to perform, muscle memory is one of those things that you can really rely on. And so being able to develop muscle memory through consistency is important. And letting your voice out is just going to get everything out there. I like to think about it like Bob Ross. I've probably said this before, but the painter guy, Bob Ross, like he always said, get all your paint on the picture first. I don't know if he said that, but I remember a quote with him saying we'll make that decision later or something like that. When it comes to how many trees he's going to put on the picture, but it's get everything on the canvas first and then make those decisions. So until you truly let your voice out completely, you really can't even see what you're working with. And gosh, I want to stick to my list here, but they all go so well with each other. Like a lot of people, for example, one of the challenges that will come up is like, but I want to make sure it sounds good. I want to make sure like I have accurate pitch and tone before I let my voice out. But the thing is that until you let your voice out, you cannot have consistently accurate pitch and tone because your body is always going to be calculating based on your level of tension, which you are controlling. And that is not a good way to sing. It is not a good way to develop muscle memory. It just doesn't work. So when you let your voice out more, you add more airflow, which is super helpful for consistent singing. And then this idea of physically letting your voice out. And when I'm doing this, you can't see it right now, but I'm like taking my arms and I'm putting them out to the side. When you are thinking of letting your voice out, you are also opening up your body's physical space, and space and airflow is going to create the most consistency for singing. So here are some easy ways to let your voice out, and you're probably going to laugh at me, which you shouldn't because I have more experience than you. No, I'm just kidding. But you're probably going to be like skeptical that it's going to work, right? And I've had moments like that myself. You know, I talked about my brilliant college professor who, and he was like, focus on the rhythm and the pitch will come out. And I just thought he was crazy, even though I had such respect for him. The idea was just so insane that I could not believe it until it physically happened for me. So try to keep an open mind. I know it's going to sound crazy. Try to keep an open mind until you give this a try. But an easy way to let your voice out is to just sing louder. Now, hear me out. I know there are going to be some objections here because you're going to be like, well, I want to make sure it sounds good first. And we already kind of talked about that. We really can't make any big adjustments. We can't develop any sort of consistency without letting out the voice first. And there might be some recalculations that your voice is doing too, because it's like, oh my gosh, she's letting her voice out. Whoa, bleh. Like, and the voice has a little glitch because it's like, it's not used to that sort of freedom. So it's just simply recalculating. And then you might have heard, well, if you sing louder, it's going to sound, you know, like I'm just blasting it out there and I might hurt my voice. In like 17 years of teaching one-on-one voice lessons, for the majority of that time teaching them full time, so that means like 40 voice lessons a week, I've never told anyone to sing quieter, and hardly anyone, you know, I work with some people, a couple of people who like to take their belt really high, but other than that, I've never told anyone to like sing quieter. And I don't even tell belters to sing quieter. We just redirect it, right? But I've never told anyone to sing quieter. You're not going to hurt your voice. You need to learn how to release that energy through your entire body and not just your voice. And so an easy way to do this is to think about, on a scale of 1 to 10, if level 1 is meh, and level 10 is just like your biggest, your boldest, your most exaggerated, I want you to always be singing at a level 8. And tracking data, when I ask singers for the first time, most singers are singing around a level 4. And so level 4 for me almost is like holding your voice back. And when you hold your voice back, again, you're creating tension in the body, which is now in control, okay? And if you want to control your voice, now you're actually allowing the tension to control it, which is a very inconsistent way of singing, right? So we don't want that. We want the voice to come out, and we want it to be nice and free. So singing louder. And literally, you could start singing a song, and before you sing the song, you can put yourself on a voice recording, be like, sing louder. You know, every 5 seconds, sing louder. Sing loud, because what happens is you're like, oh yeah, I gotta sing louder. So you sing louder, and then it kind of fades away. And then you're like, oh yeah, I gotta remember, sing louder. So it's gonna be this constant refresh in your brain where you're gonna have to remind yourself to sing louder, sing louder, sing louder, because it's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel really vulnerable, and it's gonna feel just really big, a lot bigger than you're used to. But us as singers, our bodies are incredibly efficient. So you might be really, really surprised over what you can put out there. But the biggest thing is singing louder really kind of I think of it like flushes out the system. That's kind of how I think of it. It releases all the tension, and it also gets you out of your head too, because no longer can you start to be thinking about, like you have no choice. You're singing louder and you're letting it out, and you're focusing on being big and letting it flow. Another way to let your voice out is to move around. Remember when I was talking about tension? Tension can exist in the mind, and then it manifests itself in the body. But it can also start in the body. So if you notice, my shoulders are really tense when I sing, like just start to move your shoulders around. Like just start loosening up the part of your body where you feel tension. It's just going to create a greater awareness over you as a singer and where you're holding your tension. And if you move around, if your body is physically free, your voice is going to want to follow your body. So your voice is going to follow your body, and that is going to also help to let your voice out. Okay? Letting your voice out, super important. Honestly, one of the first big foundational things that I work with singers on inside of one-on-one voice lessons. And literally, once you learn how to do this, everything starts to change. You start to feel more confident. You start to sing with more accuracy. You notice your pitch and your tone becoming more consistent. And you find that your body, it's like you're singing really loud, but it's also incredibly easy and it feels good. So these are all of the things that you can look forward to, even though on the front end, thinking about letting out your voice and really allowing it to come out can be kind of scary. So this is just super, super important. And again, it's one of the things that I really start a lot of singers with as well. So, I mean, private lessons are definitely a thing I do. There's, limited space depending on the season. And in this season, I'm open to more. So, if it's a good fit, go ahead and click on the link inside. Otherwise, I've created a process with this based on my work with, hundreds of singers, thousands of voice lessons, and, over 17 years of experience doing this. And I created a program called the Star Singer Green Room. And you can hop in for the first 30 days. It's just $1. And then after that, it's $47 a month. It's 12 months. And then you get lifetime access, after you pay for that 12 months. But the thing is, it's like everything you should have learned in voice lessons. Like, I would value this program at over $5,000, and it's just got years of experience, trial, and error. Like, the only vocal exercises in here are things that work. And what I love about it is that it goes step by step. But anyway, all of that aside, honestly, even if you just want to jump in for $1 for the first 30 days, the first 2 levels that you get access to in the first 3 weeks, because I know people like to jump ahead and I'm all about building muscle memory, so the content drips. The things that you get access to in the first month are literally going to change your life. They are the foundation of singing. So even if you hop in there for $1 and then get your booty out of there, and you take those steps with you, you take those exercises with you in your body, I mean, you're going to be twice the singer you are now, at least. So I added that special trial link for you. And yeah, do whatever you want with it. My mission is literally to be like, singing is simple. Get your butt in here, do this, see how awesome it can work for you. And I want you to just like believe in yourself. Okay. That's why it's $1. That's why it's there. That's why I'm offering it to you. The other step is sing louder. Let me know how it is. DM me, let's be friends on Instagram at Tiffany Van Boxtel. And I hope you have a great day. Subscribe to this podcast because it is awesome. You are awesome. And I cannot wait to hear how just letting out your voice goes for you. All right, we'll see you next time.